Alright, so today I found another clutch of Ball Python eggs under one of my females, and this clutch is one a lot of people have actually been looking forward to. This will be my first bamboo clutch where I could possibly get some bamboos. And essentially what a bamboo is, it's the snake around my neck here. This is Bobby, my bamboo ball python. And let me tell you, it seems like the bamboos, as soon as I post them over on MorphMarket, they sell immediately. As a matter of fact, if I actually had a waiting list, I'd probably have like 50 people in line for bamboos. What I do is I don't take a waiting list because you never know what you're going to get every single year. And the interesting thing last year is I got a whole bunch of bamboo eggs. I think I got like 35 eggs that were possible bamboo, and I only ended up with like 6 or 7 bamboos. I mean, the odds completely crushed me last year as far as just like a straight bamboo or a calico bamboo out of that clutch. So this time I actually bred a calico bamboo crossed to a lesser, and we'll actually get bamboos. We'll get calico bamboos, which are almost like a high white bamboo, which is a really awesome combination. We'll also get the all white snake, which is the combination of the bamboo and the lesser, makes a completely white snake with blue eyes. And then we'll also get the white snake with possibly calico in the mix. And I'd say if you're actually making a blue-eyed leucistic and you add calico, there's really no way you can actually tell if you have calico in there until you breed it to something else and prove out the calico. So normally I just list them as like a blue-eyed leucistic bamboo lesser with possible calico on that one. But hopefully we'll actually get some bamboos this year. As a matter of fact, just a couple weeks ago, there's been a few people asking me if they could get on a waiting list for bamboo, and I don't really do waiting lists. So there's a lot of people looking forward to some straight bamboos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this female out of the tub. We'll take a peek at her, we'll pull her off the eggs, and then we'll put the eggs up in the incubator. Alright, so I had to break out the step ladder on this one because this girl lives all the way on the very top of my ARS 7030, way up on top where my lights can barely reach. I had to put one of my lights up on the table to get up this high, and she looks like she's on a bunch of eggs. She's a pretty big girl. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 eggs from a girl like this. And this one is, I'm pretty sure this one is het for ghost too. I actually have 2 lessers. This one was sold to me as a lesser possible het ghost, and usually if you have one copy of the ghost gene, it really brightens the snake. And this one, it's definitely a lot brighter than the other one that I have, and I'm almost 100% sure this is het for ghost, but I've never really tried to prove it out and work with the ghost. And keep in mind, this is ghost, not to be confused with desert ghost. So this is the, I don't know if it could be, you know, possibly could be like an orange ghost or something like that, but you never really know until you actually start producing ghosts. But I'm going to pull this tub out and we'll unravel her, and let's check out how many eggs she has. Alright, so before I show you that female, I wanted to show you the male. This is what a bamboo calico looks like. And of course, he is in an extremely deep shed. Look at his eyes. I want to show you his eyes. He's like super grayed out in the eyes. You almost can't even see his, I'm sure he can't see anything. He's so deep in shed. Usually they're really absolutely stunning. And kind of the funny thing about these bamboo calicos is when they're young, they almost look exactly like a bamboo, just kind of with a kind of a messed up pattern on the side. And as they age and mature and they get a little bit older, they start really getting a lot of this high white. And a lot of times, I don't know if you can see it, but sometimes they'll have like a, almost like a steel gray speckling or like a steel gray line coming through the side of the snake, which is pretty awesome. It's a pretty amazing combination. Alright, so take a look at this girl in some decent light. Look at how bright she is. She is just glowing. I'm almost 100% sure this girl is het for ghost. She's just one of the brightest lessers I've ever seen. Really beautiful, and it looks like she has a big pile of beautiful eggs. Let's see if we can get in here. Take her off. I've never, you know, it's funny, ball pythons, they almost seem like they want to bite you at this point, but I've never actually been bit by a female. Taking her off the eggs. Ooh, I see a slug. 1 slug. Ooh, not that many eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 good eggs. I was expecting a few more than that. And look, she's got a really good body condition still. See if she has any in her belly. It looks like she's really good. Looks like she laid all her eggs. So I'll take 6. I'd say 6 is kind of the average clutch for a ball python. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this girl in this boa tub over here. And then we'll take a look at these. Let's see here. Nice looking eggs. Take a look at that. Can't get any better than that. A big clump of pearly white eggs. All except the one slug in here. So this is definitely an infertile egg, this little one. See if we can get it off here. And then normally what I do is I actually separate the eggs. Some people just leave them as like one big clump in the incubator. But the problem is if you have a bad one, especially if it gets really super stinky and you want to throw it away or something like that. These have been in there for a while. Boy. And then sometimes if you leave them for too long, they get really super stuck together. And these particular eggs, I think I'm actually gonna just leave them all together. So I always like to candle them because last time when I had my reticulated python lay eggs, she laid a whole bunch of eggs and then half of them didn't have any veins. I candled them into the incubation and that looks like it has a good embryo. That's what you want to see, is the veins and the little jiggly spot is the embryo. I'll come back and mark that with a marker on top. And then on these, looks good. Looks good, looks good. These are really stuck together. That one's looking good. And then the one on the top, that one's looking good. All right, so we have 6 good eggs where you can get some bamboos. Alright, so I'm going to show you real quick how I put this egg box together and how to put the eggs in. I found this was kind of interesting. Take a look at this. These are the egg crates that I bought on Amazon or eBay years ago, like 5 years ago. And I just noticed this one. Look at how bent that is. It's really crazy bent, which is really weird. I've never actually had one bend like that in the middle. I suppose you could have it roll to the middle and then kind of put your kind of lone eggs kind of rolling towards the clump in the middle. Maybe a bend in it. I don't know if I like washed it in like super hot water or something to get it to bend. That's the first one I've noticed. It's really been bent like that. All right, so what I'm using today is perlite. So you can use pretty much anything. I've seen people use perlite, vermiculite. I've actually seen people use sponges in there, which seems to work good. You just want something that's pretty inert that's not gonna mold on you. So what I do is I have these 16-ounce deli cups and add 2 of them. You have to kind of be careful not to stir this stuff up because it's really super dusty. Probably not good to breathe that in. And then my water. Where is my water? All right, hold on. All right, so what I use for water, I just use half a quart and I put it in the microwave for like 30 seconds and it brings it up to, it's been a while since I've done it. It's cooled off a little bit, but it doesn't really matter because it's going in the, a 90-degree incubator for 2 months, which is kind of crazy. So as long as it's not really super cold water to where you chill the eggs, it should be fine. And then what I do is I just kind of mix it up. And I used to weigh it out, and it seems like this, by actually measuring it, seems like it's a lot easier than having a little excess of water. You have a little bit of kind of water kind of floating around in the bottom there. Let's see if we can get it all mixed in. As far as the consistency, if you moved it all to the side, and you kind of see there is some water. But as long as the eggs aren't down in the water, I actually like to keep it to where the eggs aren't touching even the perlite here. You kind of keep them up off the perlite. Kind of another advantage using this egg crate is when the hatchlings come out, they don't get all, you know, all the perlite or vermiculite all stuck to them. They can get really dirty. And if you keep them on a little egg crate like that, it keeps, I think it keeps the eggs a little bit better, and it keeps the hatchlings off of the substrate. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the eggs to the egg box. Alright, so one thing you kind of have to watch out for is that, especially if you're kind of piling up the eggs, that top egg doesn't come in contact with the crescent seal. I actually use crescent seal for the top. So let's see how far this is going to come. Oh, I got two lids here. Let's see. If it's actually touching, we might have to tear those eggs apart. It's really close, really super close. Almost makes me want to take them apart, or at least take the top egg off. Boy, I don't know. Maybe. Because essentially what you'll get is you get a lot of condensation right on the egg. Oh, you know, once I start tearing into these, I might as well take them all apart. Oh, yeah. I'm thinking it might be better risking trying to take them apart than to have that egg right up against the crescent seal. I don't know if it'll make it. Being so close up to the crescent seal. I don't know if we could just take this one egg off. The other thing is when you're doing this, you definitely do not want to drop an egg. I did that one year and it died. I was pretty devastated. So, I don't know what I got going on with this light way over here. But if you can actually see what I'm doing. Alright, so this always makes me nervous. A lot of people are like, I can't watch. I have to turn turn it off for a bit or skip ahead, which is kind of interesting. All right, so got one off. I'm just gonna take them all apart. Well, usually once you get them going, they come apart pretty easy. The longer you leave them, the more they stick together. So these have probably been laid 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago. But if you let them sit for like a day, there's like no way that you can get them apart. They really get super stuck. So I could keep these together, just kind of like that, I guess. Maybe I will, yeah, maybe I'll just do that. Of course, it depends on the orientation on which they were laid. I think it was this orientation here. What I might actually do is I might go back in and candle these. I'm kind of going in circles now. I don't know, they say, you know, technically that if you have the embryo up on top that you'll have a better hatch rate, but I've never seen where you'll lose an egg from not having an embryo on the top. So you can see the embryo kind of right there. I'll just put a little X on that one. And then I've actually candled these right from the female, and sometimes the embryos are like, you know, like this one, it's like on the side right here. Sometimes they don't all line up, and then this one's like right here. So we can kind of orient them that way. And this one is, let's see, yeah, right here. How would you even do that? And this one, let's see, where is this one? Like right here. You can kind of see a little jiggly spot right there. So if you actually look at where the embryos are, yeah, it's kind of like, I think we can deal with that without taking them all apart. Sometimes it makes me nervous taking them apart because, you know, sometimes you could actually kind of pop a hole in them. Although I have used band-aids before to kind of patch them. I've seen people use like super glue or something like that. So maybe I'll kind of sink that one down so it's kind of flat, so we just have one that's, you want to keep them away from the side and you want to keep them from the crescent seal. I don't know, this one. Well, I was tempted to take this one apart just to keep the embryos up on top. Alright, so I keep changing my mind on these. Alright, so there we go. I mean, it's not really that hard to take them apart. And then what I try to do is I try to kind of wedge them so they don't roll around. If I'm moving the box in the incubator to the incubator, they don't kind of roll around. All right, so a little OCD on my eggs right there. All right, so what I do is I completely seal them up for the first, well, they should be in there for 60 days. I usually wait until like 2 weeks or like a week and a half before they hatch, and then I'll come in here and just kind of crack a little air hole right at the end just to make sure that once the hatchlings come out, they have enough air in the egg box. All right, so then the next thing I do is I put a lid because I like to stack them on top of each other. And then I'm gonna make a label with my label maker. All right, so I actually print out 2 labels. One is the pairing, which is a calico bamboo crossed with a lesser possible het ghost on this one. And then this one, I do the laid date, and it's laid 10 May of 22. Hatch should be 9 July 22, or about that time. Kind of the weird thing with my retics, they hatched really early compared to, it was like 2 weeks earlier than they were supposed to hatch. The retics actually incubate for 3 months, then ball pythons are 2 months, which is pretty wild. All right, so I put those eggs in my snake egg incubator. I actually built this out of a 6-foot tall beverage cooler. And the last time you looked at it, it probably looked completely different because it was completely full of my reticulated python eggs, which have recently hatched, and they're in my hatchling rack right now. And believe it or not, I already sold some of my retics before they even shed for the first time. I sold like, I think it was like 4 females already, which is kind of crazy. So these are all ball pythons I've had. This is my 4th clutch already for the year. Pretty good. So this is the one I just put in here just now. So the new ones I typically put on the top, and then the older ones down on the bottom. So I can always look kind of like at the bottom of the shelf to see what's hatching first, where I don't have to kind of like scan through the whole thing. So I actually have this one that just was laid. I actually have a banana inchy clown crossed with a clown. I think we only had 1 good egg in there, so there's only 1 shot. Hopefully I'll get a banana inchy clown, which would be pretty cool. And then I have this clutch here. This was my lesser scaleless head crossed with my lemon blast scaleless head, hoping for the completely scaleless ball pythons. And then this one was a coral glow het pied crossed with my dinker, that really unusual looking normal, hoping to get another one of those dinkers to kind of prove it that it's actually genetic. So far, it's been a bust as far as trying to prove out that one. I'm almost ready to give up. This is like my fourth clutch of eggs breeding that one. Next year I might just go with, I might like breed a bamboo to it or something instead of the coral glow and see if I can produce some more bamboos. So that's pretty much it as far as putting it up in the incubator. Pretty exciting. I'm getting a lot of snakes this year, especially with my retic laying all those eggs. All right, so that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.